Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Christmas with the Campbells, and this is a new holiday rom-com from director Claire Niederprom and written by a group of people, but including Vince Vaughn, which I thought was pretty interesting. And this focuses on Brittany Snow's Jessie, who just gets dumped by her kind of scummy, actually definitely scummy boyfriend, Alex Moffat's Shawn, but winds up being asked by Shawn's parents to come and spend the holidays when he's stuck in New York trying to get a job. And she arrives and she has this great relationship with the parents, Julia Duffy and George Wentz's characters, and then she meets Justin Long's character, one of the cousins, and of course they hit it off. And things get complicated because why wouldn't they in this weird and uncomfortable situation? Now, this film does hit on a lot of expected beats when it comes to romantic comedies, especially those for like these holiday type films. And it's one of those kinds of things where it's just like, this movie's winking at you all the time. It's very self-aware of the cheesiness and how Christmassy rom-com it feels. And it unabashedly leans into those things. But what's different is how weird this movie is. This movie is way too horny. Like, 90% of the characters in this movie, excluding Brittany Snow's character and George Wentz's character, are way too horny. And it gets really weird and really uncomfortable and very cringe when they start, like, really openly talking about sex out of nowhere and feels completely out of left field. Including, one, the mother, who keeps talking about her husband's morning time, and then basically tells him whip his penis out, and just like, did she just actually say that? And she did. And you have Justin Long, who has weird sexual chemistry with his aunt, and they keep talking about, like, if we weren't related, and it's just like, oh, we're going there. And Alex Moffat's character, Shawn, is like, should be imprisoned in horny jail for the rest of his life. And, you know, it could be funny, but it's so weird and out of place and uncomfortable that tonally this movie's just way all over the place. Is it one of those kinds of things where it's like, would I'd rather watch this than a very mediocre, just bland Christmas, like, holiday rom-com? Probably, because at least this one's interesting, but does that make it a good movie? No. The script is so messy, the dialogue is so unreasonably, like, horny and sexual out of nowhere, and basically Snow and Went just to get to walk through this movie being like, oh, what now? And that's us, the audience, sitting there like, why is this movie going this hard in sexual ways? It is. Better be prepared if you're going to sit down and watch this. And in the end, it just becomes so cliched. It goes exactly how you expect it to go. Like, Justin Long's character is very interesting and weird and has this weird cadence to his voice and accent, and you can tell Justin Long's having a good time. Brittany Snow is rock solid as our lead. I did appreciate the energy that Julia Duffy brought to this role, and George Wendt, it was just nice seeing him on screen. Alex Moffat, though, I feel like was going too hard to the point where it's just like unbelievable and felt like he was in a different movie. Along with the one other particular character who just, Joanna Garcia's Swisher, who was one of the locals, who's like, every word out of her mouth is sexual innuendos and flirtations and basically trying to come on to people, like the men around her, and it's just like, this movie, bonk, you're all going to horny jail. That they really should have called this Christmas at Horny Jail, because that's really what this movie is. And when it really comes down to it is, this is a crazy ride. I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's kind of bland narratively, and, you know, a lot of the characters outside of their sexual drive are kind of bland and boring. But, like, boy, does it have that. You won't forget that anytime soon. So, that's a tough thing, because I think this might turn off a lot of people who love traditional, like, Christmas rom-coms, because it might be a little too much for them. And then for those that it's trying to capture, it's like it still leans too heavily into them. And I just don't know who this movie's for. Wasn't for me, but will I forget it? Heck no. That's why I got Vince Vaughn. All that writing, Vince Vaughn written all over it. But those are my thoughts on Christmas with the Campbells. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.